This is the Coin Show Podcast. The show about coins and coin collecting. And not just any show. This is the #1 coin collecting podcast. Going 10 years strong. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman on the Coin Show Podcast.
It is episode 176 of the Coin Show Podcast, and on this episode of the Coin Show Podcast, Matt and I are going to talk about what goes on in the shop. We are going to do a dueling coolest thing, and maybe some other surprises, maybe some listener questions. You never know. But first, as always, the news.
I hate your surprises.
Before we get to the sponsor news, where do you get this music, dude?
I just find it around.
I will tell you that had the opening music had a very Santana vibe to it.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's nice. It's fun.
Yeah. This episode of the Coin Show is brought to you by paper. History would just be stories without paper. The original documentation, available in stores everywhere.
Oh, I love it. That was good. I like that one.
I mean, we aim to please.
That's right.
Let's see. So I got to get something ready for this because as like last time. Okay, I'm going the wrong direction.
You're going the wrong direction like last time?
Okay, so we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yes. The Florida United Numismatists show in January has been postponed.
It has been, even on their website, it says canceled. So
Okay. I was just trying to be optimistic. The Fun Board has worked hard to make this show a reality, desperately wanting to provide a venue for our dealers to get back to what they love and have our numismatic community be able to convene again. However, it has become clear that the cons far outweigh the pros at this point in time. So Fun President Bob Hurst has added, it was a very difficult decision, but we must cancel the Fun 2021 convention. The board of directors agreed to continue as long as the percentage of positive COVID-19 tests stayed at 10% or less in Orange County, Florida. Currently, it is at 14%, and we cannot wait to see if it will go down. Making the decision to cancel this 66th annual show was not made in haste. I hope to see you all at Summer Fun 2021.
yeah, I mean, I don't fault them whatsoever for that decision.
Well, no, look, congregating large groups of people is just not a really good idea right now. And it's not a political issue. It's just not.
No, you're exactly right. I agree.
It's a public health issue.
It is. We're coming up on a year of show cancellations, major show cancellations. I think the very first one I remember happening was Central States in either March or April of 2020.
I have to be at Burke for a year first, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, I started there, and 4 weeks later, we were sheltering in place.
Yeah. It's insane.
So the Summer Fun show is scheduled for July 8th. By then, a vaccine should be widely available, and hopefully we will be on the other side of the peak of the pandemic in the U.S.
Let's hope so.
Yes. You know, your lips to whatever. The ANA has selected the theme for next year's National Coin Week.
All right. I like National Coin Week. What are we looking at?
Money Big and Bold, suggested by Dan Van Vleck, who will receive a Proof 2021 Silver American Eagle for his efforts, which the ANA frames as inspired by the celebration of Morgan, Peace, and Eisenhower dollars, focusing on bold initiatives in numismatics as well as bold leaders and ideas depicted on coins and paper money. Okay, so riddle me this, Matt.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing word association with this all day, trying to figure out the possible connections.
Yep.
Think about this. What do the Morgan, Peace, and Ike dollars have in common?
Everybody hated them.
Well, size of denomination, basically, right?
Yeah.
Morgan and Peace dollars are silver.
Ike dollars are not.
But I can't find a common link between the three and the ANA theme. You know, Eisenhower, bold leader. Peace dollar, idea depicted.
Yeah.
Where does the Morgan fit as a bold initiative?
I
digress.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
That's kind of the thing is I like the initial idea of, you know, money big and bold. Okay, so, you know, let's celebrate big coins. I think what they're trying to do is capitalize on the potential, and now it's becoming a potential minting of 2021 peace dollars and Morgan dollars.
Yeah.
You know, and that would be something to really embrace. But why are you including the Ike in that?
Just because it's big and clunky.
Well, I mean, here maybe this is it. Maybe the common thread. Maybe I just kind of figured it out. Is Western interests.
Yeah.
You know, because the Morgan dollars were made to basically keep the silver actually from being robbed. You know, from where it was being mined to where it was being minted.
Yeah.
And to also, you know, appease the silver industry. The peace dollars were there basically to replace the Morgan dollars we were melting and, you know, selling metal to Britain. So I don't know.
You know, me neither. I like your answer, though. I'm going to go with you.
But I digress. PCGS has passed another milestone, having certified 45 million coins over their history, or coins, tokens, and banknotes. A medal honoring the funeral of first President George Washington was the milestone 45 million coins,
45th million
or token to be certified and graded with a combined value of over $41.7 billion US.
I mean, that just tells you what kind of what kind of force this company is in the industry. I mean, there's a couple of these companies that just grade the heck out of stuff, and good for them.
Well, they took an idea that was not their own, you know, right? They had AMEX, which was the ANA service, and they said, hey, how can we do this better? And then they went out and just did that.
Yeah.
And they really haven't strayed from their lane too much, which is what I think keeps them going.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Rolls, bags, and boxes of George H.W. Bush presidential dollars are now available.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, if you like broccoli, right? I mean, I know the world has been clamoring for more presidential dollars, right?
Yeah, right. No.
And has had to wait 4 long years since its latest installment. Wow. This program needs to be ended. Give the people of the United States closure.
Please hurry and stop them. Make them go away.
This program, please, you know, put it out of our misery. We've already got, you know, another dollar program going on right now.
Next time they put out the sales on these things, I think we need to look at them. We need to go through them and just look and see just exactly how many of these coins are actually selling, because I'm curious. I'm actually curious to see if they're actually putting any of these out that matter to any amount of anything.
This particular coin, I think is so. I mean, I don't know. My idea sounds so convoluted that it's possibly tinfoil hat stuff, right?
Oh boy!
So here's what I'm thinking.
This should be good. Let's go.
They're not making the presidential dollar for George H.W. Bush because they want to make more presidential dollars. They're making it because they want to make the gold half-ounce Barbara Bush coin.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'd like to see how many of those they actually sell.
Money on those coins.
Sure, but I mean, there can't be. There's not people banging down the doors to get George H.W. Bush dollars or Barbara Bush gold coins.
Well, no, but they'll sell at least $5,000.
Will they though?
Well, I mean, that seems to be the minimum mintage for these things. There are people that are collecting sets of them. So, yeah, I think 5,000 is about what they'll sell. I think they're going to be like the American Arts medallions.
Possible. It's hard to say.
You know, I mean, they're cool coins. They're neat stories. But at the end of the day, they sell basically at melt.
Yes.
You know,
not originally, but on the secondary market.
Right. Oh yeah, no, not originally at all. No, they've never been sold for melt.
That's what I think stopped that market from being viable. Is the fact that they almost immediately just become melt as soon as you get them.
So, I mean, my reason for saying that they need to euthanize this program is that it just isn't important enough to most Americans.
Yeah.
And the minting of one more dollar coin will not be necessary for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious to see how many they put out.
And yet, the U.S. Mint has released the reverse-proof Massachusetts Innovation Dollars and the Marsh Billings Rockefeller 5-ounce hockey pucks. So there's only one puck scheduled for next year.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
But here, look at, I've commented many times that I like the Massachusetts design on the dollar coin. I mean, it just really lends itself well to the reverse proof finish as well.
My kids would have no idea what that is. They really wouldn't.
That is funny because they show you these stories of grandmothers handing their grandchildren phones with dials on them and saying, "Here, call your mom," and they have absolutely no idea.
My kids wouldn't know what to do with a VCR. It's insane.
Well, okay, yeah, but yeah. So, what I like about it is that this particular coin lends itself well to the reverse proof finish as well. No matter which finish they do this particular design in, it looks good.
Yeah.
That's just a really solid design.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't hate it, but I hate most modern things. So that's.
Well, yeah.
I don't hate this one.
Well, here's the thing: is if all of the designs were this good, you'd have serious collectors on your hand.
For sure, but they aren't, and
I mean, look,
they're few and far between.
Have that. It's like comedy. When they do comedy, you're going to have a certain amount that kind of falls off the end and is flat. That's how you know you're on the edge.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about calling it on the edge, but it's something.
Yeah, no. Well, the 5-ounce hockey pucks have gotten us all on the edge, right? I mean, do you think that they're going to stop making 5-ounce pucks?
I mean, I don't know why. I think they're. I think that they're going to keep making them. They'll just find something else to put on them.
It's a special size blank.
I mean,
it's not the size of most 5-ounce coins.
Of all the technology that they had to bring in to make these things, I can just imagine they're going to get their money's worth and just keep making whatever the heck they want to make with them.
Yeah,
just my thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, there are so many bullion vehicles that the Mint is producing right now that, and people are still buying them, so.
Good for them.
And speaking of people still buying them, the 2020 United States Mint sets are now available. Now, I may be the only person on Earth that cares about this.
I think you are.
But it's an unusually late release for these sets. And the U.S. Mint will not include a 2020 W nickel with these sets, as may have been anticipated.
I think that might be a casualty of COVID. That 2020 W nickel.
The production of these, West Point Mint was too busy striking bullion.
Yeah. To
strike nickels that, and it someday are still going to be worth 10 cents. That's kind of the thing. So they made the proof ones and they made the reverse proof ones, and I think that'll be good enough for people. I don't think the Unk W Mint is anything really special.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be missed too much.
Now, also missing from these sets are the American Innovation dollar coins, which completely disappoints me. I mean, I understand if you don't include the W Mint Mark quarters and the S Mint Mark quarters, but not to include an entire series of coins in your annual Mint set when you shove the American with Beautiful quarters down our throat in it every year.
Yeah, I mean, but are they actually making them for circulation now, or are they just strictly making them to sell to collectors?
Well, I do not believe that they're making the American Innovation dollars for circulation at all.
Yeah. But then I say that, and they have the Native American dollar and the Kennedy half dollar in the set, which I'm not sure they're making those for circulation either. So.
Well, the Native American dollars, they're still striking them. So, I just don't get it.
I guess I should go buy some stamps at the post office in the machine
These coins.
and see what comes out.
Pardon me?
I said I guess I should go to the post office and buy some stamps in one of those machines and see what pops out for my change. Because that's the only place I've ever seen those dollar-sized coins ever being used is at the post office.
If you get rid of the dollar bill, you will see these coins being used everywhere.
Oh, well, yeah, but the only place they're currently getting any use is the post office.
That's true. Well, no, and our shop. We actually...
Well, you're an eclectic little place, aren't you?
We try. But, so, I mean, I'm just saying that I don't like the fact that the American Innovation dollar coins aren't in there. That's just me.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, they jacked the price $4.
Oh, cool.
So you're not getting your W Mint nickel, and you're not getting your American Innovation dollar coins. You're not getting your Aspen and Park quarters.
But it's $4.
And they jacked the price $4.
Yeah, nice of them.
Yeah. So, and they limited the mintage to 213,000, which will make this the lowest mintage set since 1959.
Really? Wow. There might be something there, but again, there might.
You really think so?
Be.
See, I think that there's a lesson being taught to collectors right now by the Privy Mark Silver Eagles.
I surely hope so. Oh boy, I do.
That's a lesson that's being taught to people: is don't buy something strictly to flip it.
We were talking about that today in the office. We think that 75,000 people bought these sets in order to sell them, and the supply is greatly
outstripping demand.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Yep.
So, I had a guy call about him the other day, and I told him, I said, nope, not interested. What do you mean not interested? And why wouldn't you buy? I said, look, I might buy it for like $100. I said, are you going to sell it for? Oh no, I'm not selling it for. Okay. First off, you got it for 83. So at $100, you're still being greedy.
Yeah, they still have a premium. They're still worth
no, right now, but the premiums are dropping
like a rock. Yes,
plummeting.
Where are they going to stop is the question. And
right. And here's the thing: is if you buy this, don't intend on being able to sell it anytime soon. So you've got to figure out where the bottom is.
Right.
I think 100's probably where it'll settle.
I think you're probably pretty close.
American Gold and Silver Eagle designs for 2021 will change in July 2021 for both coins now.
Nice.
Not with the release of the 2021 coins, as some have thought.
So they're going to do it like halfway through the year. They're just going to switch gears and change the...
Oh, no mules
reverse
of either coin. But you can expect a plethora of finishes and mint mark offerings in multiple reverses. So,
yes.
How many special proof silver and gold eagles can the U.S. Mint make?
As many
without killing the goose that laid the golden egg.
Well, I think they're trying to figure that out.
We are on the path. So
I think we're heading down that road right now, friend, trying to figure out exactly how many different ones they can put out before they smoke the market.
Absolutely. That's the thing is, I think so. If you're trying to do this, you don't obliterate it. You try to find out where the line is, because as you get to the line and just fall short, that's good business.
Yeah, don't do what they did to stamps, even though I think a lot of people think that they might be heading down that road as well.
They've already done this to coins before. They did it with the classic Comems.
Well, you'd think they would learn then, huh?
No. So the article I linked shows some color representations of the Gold Eagle design, which I always think, helps me to visualize a new coin.
Right. I can't visualize these yet.
Yeah. Now the silver one, well, it was, quote, in color when it was a line drawing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see them when they come out. But as they stand right now, I still can't kind of wrap my head around what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, but I think the color on that particular image, it helps
a little bit,
but no, you're not going to.
They're going to be wonky coins. I'm telling you, you're going to have this design of Liberty standing that was done back in the '80s with this reverse design done in 2020. It's going to be a really weird kind of feeling coin, I think.
Well, no, not the obverse that was done in the 80s. This is an obverse that was created in 1960.
Yeah, well, I mean, but re-envisioned in the '80s with the '80s technology.
Yeah.
And and
But
I'm
I
sure
mean,
it's been through some
well,
rehubbings and some redesign over the years, but
I mean, they haven't
it's
substantially changed it. It's not like if it was still on a $50, I don't even think you'd call it a Type 2. You know what I mean?
it's gonna feel weird. I'm interested to see them. I'm interested to give some away, which we'll talk
Oh,
about here in a minute.
absolutely. Yes.
And
Yes, we will.
yeah, so
No, I just think that I think it always helps. So, more to come on that. Collectors Universe is no longer a publicly held company.
I find this very interesting.
A group of investors has reached an agreement with Collectors Universe Inc. and has acquired all outstanding shares of common stock, taking the company private. The shareholders received an approximate 30% premium over the 60-day volume-weighted average price that ended on November 25th. So they got a premium for what they owned. The transaction is being done in cash, and as such, there are no financing contingencies, so figure it to be a done deal. The transfer will be completed in the first quarter of 2021.
It's going to be interesting to see how this affects things. Being a private company, they don't necessarily have to answer to shareholders, which is kind of a decent thing for things like innovation. They can have a program or a product that they want to try that they don't have to answer to anybody except for their customers for. So it should be interesting to see how it goes. It's just a matter of, the people behind this and what their plans are for the company. I think the guys behind this are actually sports card guys, and they may be after that particular market. And it's entirely possible that they spin off the coin market into a private company. The PCGS side of it into a private company, but who knows? I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I think you make a really good point in the fact that from an innovation standpoint, this kind of gives them a license, a carte blanche to do whatever they want, because now they don't have to, even if they do something that's way off in left field, they can do it because they can.
Right. Well, I mean, and NGC NGC and PMG have been a privately held company, I think, forever. So, you have that. Their direct competition being NGC, PMG, have been private, and so I mean it just kind of levels the playing field a little more.
Yeah, I mean I would guess so. I as a collector just didn't see any real difference between the publicly held and the non-publicly held grading services.
We will see. We will see what happens.
Do the same thing from that standpoint. So yeah, I mean time will tell. We'll see. Maybe they've got some innovation on the horizon that they didn't, that they wanted to keep to themselves. Who knows?
It's hard to say. It's going to be one of those things that it'll be interesting to see. We'll have to revisit the story about the middle of 2021, maybe towards the end, and see how things have changed.
Absolutely. Stacksbauer's Gallery has acquired a patent-pending technology called Coins in Motion. The technology animates catalog images so that a buyer has a more in-hand view of the item. Now, given the COVID world that we live in, where more and more buying is being done online, this technology will give Stax Bowers another way to view lots online, and that gives a buyer a better impression of the lot than would be available in still photographs.
Let me get this pulled up here. I actually, for some reason, didn't get this news story in our feed here, so let me get the old Coins in Motion website pulled up here. There we go.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We're good to go. Yeah, Coins in Motion is a neat imaging software, imaging method, which actually allows you to digitally roll the coin back and forth in your, on your browser. So,
yeah. So in particular, this is helpful to demonstrate the luster on a coin, something that was nearly impossible to accurately show through still images.
Right.
So is this type of view important? Well, when viewing $30 lots on eBay, maybe not. But when trying to decide on a 4 or 5 digit coin, this could expand the pool of potential buyers beyond, COVID, and might even globalize their auctions.
Well, the one thing that I really, in this whole pandemic and in this whole thing where everybody is stuck at home and companies are having to find new ways to innovate, I think that, there is going to be some innovation that comes out of this whole thing that changes the industry and may help in the future of numismatics done digitally or virtually. And this might be one of them.
I think that this technology is going to really aid the globalization of auctions in general, because what it'll do is it will allow people that really don't travel or just don't have the want to travel to have more confidence on bidding on a coin, simply because they can get a better impression through this technology.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think that from a global standpoint, it actually helps, and that's what Stacks Bowers is about. So, who knows? It might make them.
I think at the end of the day, this is about selling more coins for Stacks Bowers. But I mean,
always
it'll be helpful for them.
If you can increase your audience, you're going to do that.
There you go.
And finally, in the news, kudos to Coin Week for this article.
I read this. It's funny.
Reaching out your audience, I think you have. Coin Week showcases some of the greatest coin collecting memes of all time. They go on to explain what memes are for those of us with no contact with anyone under 30. It's really just great fun. I like it a lot. These memes are great.
There's a couple good ones. There's some better ones actually out there that I think they didn't hit. So I'm kind of sad, actually, when I read this article. There's a couple of really, really good ones I've seen go by the last few years that are better than any of the ones on here. So,
okay, well then maybe you'll have to post some on our.
That's a great idea. I think I will do that.
There you go. When I was a manager for Blue Cross Blue Shield, I used to send out stats to my team every day, and I'd put a meme at the top of it every single day. That's how I got familiar with memes.
Oh, I love them. I use them at the office all the time when somebody screws up or. Yeah, I punish people with memes.
Sometimes.
So
that was the news, and the news was brought to us this week by Paper. History would be just stories without paper. So the original documentation available at stores everywhere.
Paper.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
So we got that going for us.
Yeah, get a little drinky drink and bump us on to something else. What do you want to talk about? What's up?
I think you have something that you want to talk about.
Well, I sure do. If you guys are patrons of the show, you already know this, but I'm going to make the official announcement. If you guys actually pay attention to the show and what I post, you probably already know this as well. But if not, that's okay. If you're not social media inclined, that's fine. I'm going to help you out here. We have decided that we really do enjoy having our Friends of the Coin Show group on Facebook. We broke 1,000 members the other day. Awesome. But we really wanted to get back to you guys this year, so we decided that throughout 2021, every month on our second live show of the month, we're going to give away a 2021 Silver Eagle to a random member of Friends of the Coin Show Facebook group. So we'll just draw it live on the show. We'll figure out how to do that and get the technology done there. And so once a month, we're going to be giving away a Silver Eagle. And then in December 2021, we are going to be giving away a 1/10 ounce Gold Eagle. So if you guys haven't joined Friends of the Coin Show on Facebook, just join that group. That's actually all you have to do to have a chance to win. So
that's super simple.
Yep.
And look, we have kind of tried to spread our position out a little bit. Where we have a YouTube channel, and we have Friends of the Coin Show. We have the Coin Show podcast page, and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to kind of try and spray to all fields as things go. But we particularly wanted to say thank you to the Friends of the Coin Show because they really kind of make everything go for us. And there's a lot of interaction in that community. That is like our family.
It really is. It's a good community, and it's actually probably one of the things I'm the most happy about all the things that we do on this show is getting all those people together. So it's fun.
No, absolutely, yeah. So people actually had to it's like a subscription. It's not really, but they had to actually physically what was it? What do you have to do? You have to apply.
You just have to go and ask to join the group, and then we'll make sure that you're not an Indian robot bot, and we'll approve you. It's pretty simple.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's all for my announcement. Back to the show.
So we do have, let's see, we got some listeners in the chat today.
Yeah. Let me see. It looks like we
have
do.
a question from Mike Wagner.
Let me see if I can get the new chat pulled up. Oh, I can. We have chat now, friends. We have chat. All right, good. So on the stream, you guys can see the chat. That's amazing.
So Mike Wagner asks, what is the best magnification to get clear picture and details of coins, specifically a counter stamp or engraving?
Now, a clear picture, are you trying to photograph the coins, or are you just trying to observe them, I guess, is a specific question I have about your question.
Right. So, I mean, you're saying to get a clear picture, it's really whether or not it's, are you looking to just get a picture in your mind, or are you trying to literally photograph it? Both. He says both.
Okay. So the two technologies, for me at least, are not really related. I think that, when you're observing a coin, it's going to be something, that I just use a standard, like 10x, little glass you can buy at the show. That's what I've always used. And then when I'm photographing coins, I use a DSLR and a macro lens. I mean, that's a whole different can of worms. But yeah, I just use a standard. This is just one of those Harris 10x things you can buy at the coin show. I always just use these cheapo ones because if I'm ever at a coin show and I lose it, I know where I can go get another one, and then I won't have to figure out a new glass. And so that's my reasoning behind that one. But
I mean, I carry a Bosch and Lomb 5x, just a little box loop in my pocket, which is exactly the same. It's so yeah, you don't really need much more than that. But I think that your point is really good with, you're using a macro lens. That's going to give you all the magnification you need. So trying to combine the two, trying to combine a camera and a loop can be kind of tricky. It can be done, but it can be really tricky.
Yeah, I mean, you can get good pictures with a device, a phone. The phone cameras now these days are well enough to get decent pictures of things. It's just a matter of it takes a little getting used to. I'll just say that much, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think as with anything, you can become skilled at it. It's a matter of what your personal desire is.
Right. I had a question earlier. Let me rattle this one off. I actually thought it was a good question. It was posted on one of the posts on Facebook for, just saying that we were having our show tonight. And it says, I have a question for tonight that I don't think was answered before. How would one go about working with a dealer to locate nice coins in a particular series? So, I guess I can give my answer to that, and then Mike, you can see if you agree or disagree with me. I think that first and foremost, when it comes to working with a dealer, you have to be on the same page. The dealer has to know what kind of coins that you are looking for. But they also have to, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. What I would recommend in that particular situation is to, if you have some coins already that are kind of what you'd like, take them to the dealer, show the dealer, say, this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for, and then from there you can discuss the price points and what you're willing to spend and get down to the finer details of it. But I think the most important thing is getting on the same page with a dealer about what you're looking for. Now, if you can't go to them physically, then you actually might have to get with somebody online that just has a reputation for being able to provide nice coins, or maybe as a specialist in that particular series. So that's kind of my advice on that stuff.
You're exactly right, Matt.
What?
Put that into your bank.
Oh, it's going. It's being recorded.
I knew where that was going. But no, you're exactly right. It's you should know who you're dealing with. And if you deal with any really reputable coin dealer, they should be able to at least help you locate the material you're looking for. If you're good at communicating, then you can kind of give them an idea of specifically what you're looking for. And if somebody tells me exactly what they want, you can usually find it. It's all out there.
Sometimes we have customers that tell me exactly what they want, and then I go find it, and then it's not exactly what they want.
Right. So that I will tell you is the dealer's frustration.
It is.
That somebody says, "Hey, I really want an AU58 Oregon Trail," and you go out and you find them a really nice AU58 Oregon Trail, and they either flip out at the price or they're like, "Well, this one's got just a little bit of rub." Yeah, it's a 58. That's what they, So,
but I mean, in that case, not all coins are created equal. But I was thinking more like we had a customer that tells me that he wants his Morgan dollars that we're finding him hard white, which no toning, perfect. And I just guessed that we had a difference of opinion about what hard white was, because I was handing him coins that would have passed any dealer's hard white across the country, and he was rejecting them because they were not white enough. So that kind of thing.
You want one with just booming white luster, which is different than just white.
Right. It's sometimes the customer doesn't understand what they want either. So just be specific. Get together. Try to show them physically what you want. That's usually the best way.
And if you're dealing with a reputable dealer, you will find that they really are trying to find you what you want. It's not a matter of them, trying to push something on you. It's like they're really seriously, they have a vested interest in helping you.
Yep. Let's see here. Jeff's got a question.
Say hi to a couple of people first, because I wanted to say hi to Justin.
Yep.
Our very own Justin, who's out there, and he's looking. Silver Guy, 23.
Hello.
Wayne Jones from South Carolina. Jim McKeon is right here in Sweet Home Chicago. Yeah.
I see Steve Schubert up there. Hi, Stevie.
Steve Schubert. There you go. That was the other one I was looking for.
Oh, there's lots of people paying attention tonight. It's good. David's here. John's here. Good to see all you guys. Thank you very much.
On YouTube, too.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we have Jeff's question. Do you think computers can ever reliably grade mint state coins? Thinking of PCGS as new owners. So I did read what I think you're probably referring to as well. The new owners of PCGS and Collectors Universe are really going to try to digitize the grading of sports cards, and which I think is something that probably could be done, simply because the difference between sports cards and coins and currency is that eye appeal is something that can't be graded, can't be determined by a computer. On a sports card, you can determine the centering, you can determine if there's folds. I mean, you can probably determine all that stuff with a computer. So just run through a computer, bingo bango, spits out the grade. That's fine on sports cards. But on coins, it's a little different. You could have, say, an 1885 silver dollar that's blast white versus a coin that's rainbow toned. And those are going to be two different things. Even though they technically may be the same grade, sometimes rainbow coins get a bump or a plus or a star at NGC for having eye appeal. So that's just something that you can't teach a computer how to understand. So I don't think so.
Your point is pretty much on it, that technically two coins can have the exact same state of preservation and grade differently.
Yep.
And that is strictly because in mint state coins, there's an eye appeal thing. Now, if you take it below mint state, I think that computer grading might work better.
I mean, even if they
you can confine it to state of preservation marks. It's not so much eye appeal in grades below MS60.
Even if they were able to come up with some sort of hybrid where you got the technical grade from a computer and then you were able to give it numerators or extra points for eye appeal.
Absolutely.
From a human. I think that might work.
The human grader comes in, that it kicks out a level of preservation. And from that, you go, okay, well, this is the minimum that grades and maximum that grades. And then the grader looks at it and figures out where in that range to drop it.
Yeah, That might work.
That's the future. That's, I think, as close as it's going to get.
We'll see. Go ahead.
Dave Nelson wanted to let you know that they use plenty of dollar coins in New York. You get them in change from the MetroCard machines.
There you go. Well, then, see, they do have another use besides the post office.
Taffy coins. Our friend from Wales. I've actually been doing some research on whales. I learned that
they're big. They swim in the ocean.
No, not that kind of whales.
Oh, different whales. Gotcha.
Yeah, from Wales, like the Prince of, like
Gotcha.
like Britain. Well, not Britain. It's Wales. Well, it is Britain. I take that back. It is Britain. It's Wales. There's England and there's Wales, and those are two different countries, but they're part of the
United Kingdom, which is
right
several.
of Wales, England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. That's the United Kingdom. That's what's left of it for now. We'll see what happens. They always said the sun never sets on the British Empire. I think it might be. But anyway, so I was watching that. I know that Cardiff is their capital. I've just been learning a lot of things about it. Kind of cool.
Like a pen pal, don't you?
It is what? It's 1:45 in the morning there.
Taffy, he's an animal.
Yeah. So I'm Great Britain. He's Republican though. Down through the empire. Down with the empire. Okay. Well, that's Republican has a completely different meaning over here. But we're awfully glad to have you.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Joe Bohannon, I see you out there. I see you, buddy.
So one other question for you while you're interacting with this, Taffy. Are you on Greenwich Mean Time?
TikTok. Oh, go ahead and ask another question here.
The answer, I'm just asking. That's,
Jim has a question. Says, do you think this new thing the Mint is going to work for them? Would you like to see them in? Where would you like to see them in the next year? Oh, sorry, I can't read tonight. This new thing the Mint is trying is going to work for them. So I think you may be referring to the fact that they're putting out some of these like kind of smaller mintage stuff in more quantity. That's sort of what they did with stamps, and it wasn't necessarily something that worked out real well for that market. Creating more items with less mintage just spreads out your collector base, and might anger people. Like I tell you this: if I was a Silver Eagle collector, I would not be real happy from the beginning. If I was collecting a single proof a year and a single uncirculated coin a year, and that was what I was putting away, I would be kind of upset by all these different finishes and that they're putting out now, and the fact that they're limiting some with privies and making those, $200, $300, $500 coins.
Well, that's okay because they already made them mad, 25 years ago. When they put the key to all the Silver Eagle proof sets in a gold set that they couldn't buy.
I understand that part of it, but I'm just saying that if I was just the guy collecting on a budget and wanting to have my complete set, now I have a Dansko that has a bunch of holes that I can't fill.
Yeah, 1 page per year.
Yeah, I mean it's getting down to 1 page per year in a Dansko album, so it's like
you got the X-Mint, the W-Mint. Now they're doing that every year. They've done it for the last 3 years where they had an S-Mint proof and a W-Mint proof.
I know.
They jacked the price on them this year. I mean, really jacked the price on them. They're what, $73 or something like that?
Yeah, it's just insane. So I don't know. I don't think so. It's not something that I like to see as a dealer because I don't try to deal in a lot of modern product if I can help it. But you never know what's going to come through the door. So it's one of those things that, I have to train my guys that work in the office as to which coin they're looking at. If they have 2 proof Eagles, one of which has an S-Mint mark and one of which has a W-Mint mark, and there's a difference in price, my guys don't know that.
There is a big difference.
Well, yeah, my guys look at a proof Eagle and think it's a proof Eagle because we see, hundreds of them a week.
Yeah. By the box load.
Sometimes. So it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I don't like it, but I'm sure you can find other people out there that say they do. So,
absolutely.
Taffy said we pay about £85 for a basic 1 ounce silver proof here. You guys have it great.
Well, he is absolutely correct. I will tell you that that there were some coins that I asked him to pick up for me, and it's like, they're just 50 pence pieces, and they're like 30 and 35 bucks a piece.
Jeez.
And these are clad half dollars. That's what they are. They're not anything special.
Yeah.
And the silver one is so expensive I couldn't buy it.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. But they do some different stuff, and they do some limited stuff. People were asking about this Mayflower set and whether or not I thought that was kind of like the Pride of Two Nations set, and it was like, no. The Pride of Two Nations set did a special finish on a coin that people really, really collect.
Yeah, people care about it. People, that already has a established collector base.
Look, people are going to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the Mayflower now, right?
Right.
And there are some people that are going to really like that commemoration, and they'll buy it. But Silver Eagles kind of transcend everything as far as what we've seen. So you take that and then you couple it with the special finish, and then you take a maple leaf that has a really special finish on it. There are no others like it, and it's like, why not? That's a beautiful coin. Now, do I think that the Mayflower set's going to be anywhere? No, I just don't. I think they're two totally different animals.
Yeah, well.
Let's see. Justin says, did you know it's cheating to import a proof or limited edition Britannia from the Royal Mint than to buy it in England because there is no VAT?
I think it's cheaper. He meant to say cheaper to import it.
Okay. Yeah. Cheap to import a proof or limited edition Britannia. Well, yeah. Or you have friends over there that can help you out.
Ooh-wee.
So Taffy says Mint just released a silver proof snowman costing $67.50. $67.50 is close to $100
for 8 grams of silver. Wow.
Right. For an 8-gram silver coin.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
90 bucks, what he says.
That's nuts. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's the thing. But yeah, he sent me a very beautiful Father Christmas 50 pence, and it had a nice Christmas card in it. It was really, really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
All right. Well, I think that'll about do her tonight.
Yeah.
You ready to get onto this competition segment, or you got something? I know you said you had something special.
No, you had something special.
Oh, the giveaway. Okay, good. I thought you were sneaking up on me again. So
no. I've given up on that for this episode.
And now for the coolest thing to walk in this week. A competition segment between Matt and Mike to see who's had the coolest thing walk into their shops. Who'll win this episode? Let's find out. Matt? Mike? Who's got the coolest thing?
I just want to say, apparently, we have one of our staff members that has been keeping track of the coolest thing, because we've started putting a poll in our Facebook group and seeing what happens there. So unfortunately, I thought I was undefeated, but I clearly am not. So our unnamed staff member says, if you're keeping score, and he says I am, it's currently 2-1 Matt, with one tied so far.
So it's I'm 2-1-1. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it. So I'm virtually tied.
Yeah, sure.
Virtually tied.
Virtually, yeah.
When I beat you down this week, no worries.
Okay, let's go. Go ahead. You can go first. Have fun.
Go first.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So this is something that came in a deal over the last week or so, and I've handled a couple of them, and the ones that I've had up till this point, it was raw. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of treat this one as raw because it comes from a grading company that's not tremendously desirable segs.
Yeah.
And it is a problem coin, but it is what it is. It's a colonial. And it is a 1785 Nova Constelladio colonial cent. It's in VF30 condition, but it is corroded and lacquered, which is something that was done very often in the 1800s and early 1900s to copper coins. They lacquered them. But, that's okay. It's in beautiful, beautiful shape, though. I mean, all the detail is there. This is a coin from before our current Constitution, so it's older than our country, and yet a U.S. coin. So it's very cool, and it is in just breathtaking condition.
Well, maybe next time you can take a picture of it with the back being the right side up. Boom.
Yeah, I kind of, whatever.
Just saying.
Here's the thing: is I did not realize that it was a coin turn and not, or that it was a metal turn and not a coin turn.
I'm just giving you grief.
Well, I mean, it is. All you got to do is turn it upside down, fool. But anyway, so yeah, this one, they don't even know the mintage on these Nova patterns.
I do like them. I like colonials. I always have. I'm not gonna lie.
We sold it.
You sold it already?
I already sold it. I sold it to another dealer along with another colonial coin from Segs that was a Connecticut copper, 1788, that had a faulty planchet.
What is this? A tag team? Can't tag team coins on me.
No, it's just, that was what came in together. That was what went out together.
I'm just giving you trouble, Mike. This is fun. I'm having a good time.
In colonial copper,
I like colonials. They're fun.
Yeah.
Well, let me show you what I got. If you guys are fans of this show, you might remember one of these from a few episodes ago, but I bought another one, and since it was cool enough to make it last time, it was probably cool enough to make it again this time. So I bought a token from Charleston, South Carolina, for a person named W.W. Wilbur, who was an auctioneer in Charleston in the 1840s and 50s. And among the things he sold, he was actually a slave auctioneer. He did sell slaves. So one of the very, very few pieces that is actually tied to the slave trade that is somewhat affordable. These tokens, in lower grade are worth $75 to $100. When they get kind of in a mid grade like this, they're worth $200 or $300. So it's definitely still something that is affordable. But very, very historic piece and kind of a dark time in our country's history. But you can find them out there. They do exist. So I thought that was cool. That was my coolest thing.
And this one's NGC graded.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. This one's NGC Graded Vf30.
Let's see. It says collection broker, notary public.
Yeah, I think the guy did all sorts of stuff. He did all sorts of different things.
So this is a merchants and manufacturers agent. He was an auctioneer, and this has some really nice detail to it. I mean, it still is it saw some circulation. I think the connection to the slave trade is something that kind of, I don't know how it makes me feel about it.
Oh, right. It's one of the things that makes you think, and it makes you have some feels.
And
that's okay.
And look, it's part of our history, so you can't deny it. It happened.
Right.
Now you just have to figure out how to deal with it and how to go forward.
That's right. So, Interesting piece. I thought it was neat. I know there are actually a couple of collectors out there that do exhibits on this particular person and token. So if you hit some of the big shows, you can actually see that there are some collector exhibits with multiple examples of these. So just something neat, a piece of history I thought was fun, and wanted you guys to take a look at it. So that was my coolest thing.
So copper versus copper, and we'll have the poll up on our. Which is it on? Is it on Friends of the Coin Show?
It will be on Friends of the Coin Show, yeah. So if you haven't joined yet,
well, we hopefully have given you a really good reason tonight to do so.
Hopefully. Wow. I think we just did it, Mike. I think we just got to the end of 176, unless you have anything else that you need to do or say.
Well, I mean, there's lots of things that I'd like to do and say. But no. This was just kind of compact in there, and this just kind of, this is the monolithic, Chapow.
Chapow. It's a live Chapow. Did you hear that? It sounds just like it.
So one of the things that we've asked our listeners is, look, we're going to go back and we're going to do kind of a retread segment.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah. So we're going to do a retread segment. And what we're asking is there were some segments that we did when we were audio only. So we're talking like the first 150 shows.
Yeah. I think by the time we stopped doing those segments was around show 100.
Probably right around there. So you can go back and you can take your choice of a couple of different segments on Susan B. Anthony's, or other things. But you can request some of these segments to be redone now with visuals. And I think that one of the best examples we got came from our unnamed associate who said, hey, why don't you do something on grading? Something that we never tackled because grading is such a visual thing. You just can't describe it on radio. Well, you can, but it just doesn't work as well.
Right.
Not everything is going to be really easy to redo from a visual standpoint, but we will definitely try to create a more visual experience from them. So if you have ideas for that, you can post it on Friends of the Coin Show. You can email me at mike@coinshowradio.com. You can actually email Matt now at matt@coinshowradio.com.
That's other breaking news. Good job.
Hold on a second. This is
when there's news, we'll break it.
Or when news breaks, don't look at us.
We had originally when we set up our emails 10 years ago, we had used a really nowadays a really outdated email server, and our web host just upgraded us for free here recently, and now I have a way to have my Matt at Coin Show Radio emails forwarded to my other mailboxes. So guess what, friends? I can read your emails now, and I don't have to log into an antiquated system that I don't even remember how to get into. So it's send them now. I can read them. They're there. So I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. So.
Oh, Spencer asks, when is Matt dyeing his hair?
Never, ever.
Because Spencer was in our shop this week, and he found out when Mike is dyeing his hair next.
Never.
It's not going to happen again. I have the frosted tip look going right now. It's
nice.
like,
I actually kind of like that look on you. It's not bad.
I will tell you what, I've had an awful lot of fun with it. It looks so much better than my normal hair color.
Yes, it sure does. All right, everybody. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us on the episode 176 of the Coin Show.
176.
Wow. 200's coming up quick. We're going to do something special. We haven't quite decided yet, so we'll get there.
I will guarantee you this. I will guarantee you pain for Matt.
Oh, don't like
episode
that.
200. You know what? We'll maybe we'll do one of those challenges like we did on that, not the Coin Show.
We might. That was fun.
It was fun. It needs to be a little more chaotic. That's, I think, the word we need.
I don't. You're scaring me. I'm not sure if I like you anymore. Oh, you're freaking me out, man.
Like me anymore.
Freaking me out, bro. All right, everybody, you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us.
Check, make sure there's nothing else. No, nothing in the mailbox.
All
right, cool. So thank you to everybody who joined us. Thanks to all you who commented. Thank you to everybody who listened or will listen in the future or watch us. You can catch us on Facebook. Join our Friends of the Coin Show podcast. Join that group, because we're giving away silver and gold this year.
And you might learn a thing or two.
Yeah, well, you never know. And it's a really cool place where you will see everything that everybody posts. That's what we love about that group so much. So, but thank you to everybody. Thank you to those who listened. Thank you to all of our friends at Patreon and all of the patrons of our podcast. Without you, we couldn't do a lot of the stuff that we do. And so we really appreciate you for it. Thank you to Justin for all the stuff that he does behind the scenes. Thank you to Ernesto for, taking care of our Facebook page every single day. You can catch us on Twitter. You can catch us on Instagram.
Don't forget.
And
don't forget Barry.
That's
for making my life difficult.
That's the unnamed associate, Barry Swan, who is just absolutely
making my life difficult.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's making my life difficult. Yeah. We're gonna gang up on you for the 200.
All right, everybody.
All right. So for the Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time. We'll talk to you next time on the Coin Show.
You've been listening to the Coin Show podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nottleman. The boys will be back soon with another informative and entertaining episode. Meanwhile, you can follow the show on social media at The Coin Show on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Coin Show. You can also join their private group. Just search Facebook groups for Friends of the Coin Show and request access. But if you want to take it to the next level and support the Coin Show podcast, you can go to www.patreon.com/The Coin Show. If you subscribe at the $5 a month level or higher, you'll have access to Not the Coin Show podcasts on the off weeks, as well as other surprises reserved for our patrons. Visit our website at coinshowradio.com or download our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. This has been the Coin Show Podcast.